Hello, everyone. Welcome into Post-Show Headlines Draft Day Edition. I'm Andrew Salciunas with my man, John Kincade. Post-Show Headlines, we do this every single day. So for those of you who have been joining us, welcome back. For those of you who just got here for the first time, welcome. It's been a lot of fun. It's our chance to talk about some stuff that we didn't get into on the air, some things that we just want to continue talking about, 5 random topics, 2 minutes each, and then we go home.
So we have broken bobbleheads behind
that's
us,
Ricky Vitale's
as a couple
fault.
people have pointed out.
All right, so you are going to go first because you have a draft-related question.
Yes.
I actually don't have anything draft in this one.
Okay, well, this is good because this is the last of pretty much the draft-related questions. You've said since the Eagles are drafting 32, it doesn't have the same juice to you.
No, I have juice.
No, but it doesn't have the same juice to you as when they're drafting 10 or 9.
No, that's the general public.
You believe it's the same for you?
No, for me, I am excited with this specific draft because I have no idea what they're going to do.
No, I got you. But you're not as excited as if they were drafting in the top 10, right? For draft night, you said you may even go to bed.
Yeah, okay.
Waiting on. So I'm saying the excitement about the draft.
But but again, I'll talk about the draft regardless of where they're selected.
No question.
Whereas there are Eagles fans, there are fans of football that are more excited.
Okay, well, you just derailed this because it is. You know, we would both be more on edge if it was top 10 pick. And they were like, who are they going to end up with?
Because that's
one of the biggest
franchise changing versus franchise adding.
But we love them being 32.
Yes.
So is there more interest in you in draft night when the Eagles are drafting 32 at the end? Or is there more interest in lottery night coming up for the Flyers and Sixers? Where we could end up with a franchise changing player. Like the night of the lottery. Are you going to be front and center to watch?
Yeah.
And when the Flyers have a chance to get a franchise-changing player to go along with Mishkov, I think I'm going to be more just jazzed about seeing those moments.
Yeah, that's appointment. The draft's appointment viewing.
Sure it is, of course.
The lottery ball, yes, that is appointment. Like I got to make sure I'm not doing anything. Like draft, I can walk around. You have 15 minutes.
Well, when they're drafting 32, and that was the whole premise of this.
Right.
They're drafting 32. We have till after 11:30.
Yeah, no, you're right. The draft lottery balls with the Sixers and Flyers is
going to be huge this year.
Yeah, because the Flyers, they're getting their pick. The Sixers, I find out if they're even getting a pick.
Correct.
B, is it number 1 overall, or is it 6, which at least you get something, but.
I mean, it's amazing. The drama for the Sixers is different than the drama for the Flyers will be.
Yeah.
And the Flyers, if they can get in the top 3 or 4, they're going to get somebody that can ride shotgun with Mishkov for a long time.
Well, and it goes back to the initial Eagles thing. This is franchise altering versus franchise adding.
Correct.
So, yeah, I'm more excited for
Well, then there it was. Took us a while to get there, but we got there.
All right. Well, we always talk a lot.
There we go.
Number 2. I'm interested to see what your answer will be for this. You're not looking to fire Rob Thomson today. I know you're not.
I am not looking to fire.
I know you're frustrated.
I am extremely frustrated with Rob Thomson, and he is on my last nerve.
I will ask you this, though.
Yes.
How long would you wait to make that decision, depending on if this continues to slog the way that it is? They are still plus 500, but it's been a slog to start the season.
Are you telling me that they're 5 games back in the division right now? Are you telling me that they are 6 games back Memorial Day?
Let's say the stuff that you're complaining about today continues next week, 2 weeks go away from now, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
First week of June, goodbye, Rob.
So you would, that's the law, that's...
I always believe you do not look at the standings. You look at the standings, but you do not care about the standings till Memorial Day.
Right.
But to me, if this team's playing like this and it's June 1st, goodbye, Rob. Goodbye.
Now, how much of it do you blame him? Because the bullpen's not necessarily his fault.
It's not. No, it absolutely isn't. And sometimes I think half the time managers are fired, they're not the number one problem.
Right.
But I do believe with Rob Thomson, the complacency approach of Rob Thomson isn't working. And as pointed out by some of our listeners this morning after we did the segment, some of the people on social media, Bryce Harper is saying the things that Rob Thomson won't. And if my manager doesn't have the guts to call out his team when they're playing lackadaisical and playing poor fundamentals, then I don't need him as my manager. I don't need him to be their best friend. I don't need him to be their buddy.
Yeah.
I need him to be the leader.
All right, real quick, I just got
Sure.
Is he the manager after 162 games this season?
Yes.
Me too.
Because I do believe I do believe they're going to turn this thing around.
Me too.
How about this? I think they're going to turn this thing around enough that we are going to be scoreboard watching in September and all that stuff. So I do believe that will work out.
All right, you have a life question for number 3 today.
I have a life question for you, and I can't believe this morning. Because we got into conversation. We get into conversations off the
about
air.
everything.
And we're talking about running. I do not like running, but I do love, I love walking. I'm a huge walker. I try to walk no less. Last year, I averaged 33 miles a week of movement. Yeah. So whether it's here in the office, out in our trails in our neighborhood and stuff, I love to walk.
Yeah.
But I found out this morning, I've run at least 5, maybe more, 5Ks in my life. And Andrew Salciunas has never run a 5K. No. You've run a 5K on your own.
Yeah.
But you've never run
signed
in
up for the
5K.
The turkey trot.
And we did this year as a family. Liv and Christina and I did the turkey trot, it was the inaugural one in Westchester.
Yeah.
And we did it and loved it. And I was saying to myself, are you kidding me? You've never run a 5K? Those are a lot of fun.
Never felt the need to.
But the thing is, you do run, though. Yeah. That's what's crazy to me is that these are fun get-togethers, too.
So the day of the turkey trot this year.
Right.
We missed it because of Cooper for whatever. So I just ended up running afterward when everyone was done. I still got my exercise in. What do I like? I don't need to do Broad Street Run. I would love to do Broad Street Run one day.
Okay. And is that a half marathon?
It's 10 miles, so a little less than half.
10 miles.
I did the half. It pissed me off because I trained up and down Kelly Drive for a year.
Okay.
And then when you do the half marathon, Kelly Drive's flat. You do the half marathon in Philly, mile 7 is a steep incline.
Where's the steep incline? Is it down coming up from
it's in
is it coming up from Kelly Drive?
It's in West Philly.
Oh, okay.
And it's a steep incline. And I remember being whoa.
Like a heart attack hill.
I was not trained for this 7 miles in. If it was first mile, so be it. So that pissed me off a little bit, I'll be honest. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, you didn't know the track.
Yeah,
now you would know.
But I don't feel the need to do one. I would love to do Broad Street one day just because it's iconic.
It's just funny is that the turkey trot, the girls are like, we're definitely doing that next year, Dad. That's nice. We're doing it again. It was a lot of fun running through the streets.
Yeah.
I would love to do Dad won.
Did you? It's good work by you. All right. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Your first answer cannot be your house because that will lead to the next question.
Okay.
You've heard me talk about Carlos the Civic a lot, 133,000 miles on it. That was my first adult purchase. Not getting a pack of baseball cards.
Oh, okay.
Not, buying a book, right?
Carlos the Civic.
My first adult purchase post-graduation where I had to finance something, right? So it doesn't have to be finance.
Right.
But that was my first adult purchase where I was like, damn, I'm no longer a little kid anymore. I am buying a car. What was your first adult purchase that you think you can remember and beers off the table?
How about it was crazy? Is that you bring up Carlos the Civic?
Yes.
It was a Honda Civic sedan.
How about that?
From Scott Honda on Route 30 in Ardmore. And within a month, the car was bought back for me because it was a lemon law.
No way, really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it's no reflection on the Honda product, which obviously you love. And it's a great product. And I wanted to buy one. My mom had a Honda and had a lot of success with it. Yep. Bought it. The car ended up breaking down on 95 in the middle of it. It went dead, and I was in a lane of traffic.
Oh no!
Where I could get hit.
So you were that guy.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
And and they bought it back for me. Full thing started again, and I got a Pontiac Grand Am.
Okay. So that's car.
So that was my first car. So it was the second one. The Pontiac Grand Am.
All right, interesting. So now my last one.
Yes.
Now you're a homeowner many years later.
Yes.
What was the first thing that you did to your new home. Either you bought something, you did something to because everybody.
Is this the first new home?
Yeah, your first because I'm in the home that I'm in is our first like legit home.
Okay.
Christy and I lived together in Manioc, 2 different places, but this was our first home. And one of the first things I did was get a lawnmower from our friends at Paul B. Moyer and Sons in Doylestown because I needed a lawnmower. Like I moved into a house, I was like, oh wait, Manioc, I wasn't taking care of a yard.
My first was 683 Metro Court. I built a townhouse.
Okay.
It was my first like buying a house, and the first thing I did to it was my buddy Joe Amicone came over, and I bought the pizza and the beer.
Yeah.
And he hung vertical blinds, and over the screen door.
That you remember that.
And blinds for the window.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do it, and he had the drill and all that stuff, and he had already had his first house.
Yeah.
And so he came over, and
that's awesome.
We had sports on the TV, and he was hanging vertical blinds.
That's great because you move in and you always do something.
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
You could buy a brand new house and you're going to be doing something
yes.
to it right away.
There it was.
See, I told you.
Vertical blinds.
Random stuff today. All right, enjoy the draft tonight.
Enjoy it.
Maybe the Eagles make a pick.
Maybe they do. If not, tomorrow's going to be wild.
Yeah, you can text me
early
what
morning.
Happens.
I will.
I'll be asleep.
You'll wake up to it.
We'll be back at it tomorrow morning for another day of Kincade and Salciunas on the air, reacting to night 1, previewing day 2 of the draft, and of course, hanging out with you during post-show headlines as well. Listener sent in questions.
Tomorrow, all set.
Those are always fun.
And it's a theme. There's a theme.
There's a theme. And John always tells the people
yes.
that
I told them that you're going to
be asked or discussed that day. So everybody have a great rest of the day. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Thanks.
See you.